first one in there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good picture right there.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you have two big sections and it won't go together, that's the way you want to do it. And see, then you can just pop it off. You can reuse these pieces because you're not sewing through them.
Oh,
Okay? You would just save them, put them in a Ziploc bag by section. And I'm just earning this flat. And I've got another really good little cheap thing that's kind of good. I want to show you how to do these itty bitty ones. Because everybody hates the little ones. And the little ones are easy. Now I have videos on the website where I'm sewing. So if you get home and you can't remember, you can watch it. And there's a little flyer there.
Do you have a video on something like YouTube?
Yeah, it's on my website. You just go and click on it.
Oh, okay.
And there's also 2 free patterns. These are free that you can go and print off and you can try. All right. Now here's my little bitty pieces that everybody hates. See these two? Okay, one way to do these small pieces is to sew the 2 colors together first. Okay? And then don't cut them apart and iron them on the line. But I've already cut these. So here's what I'm going to do different. I'm going to take these and I'm going to butt the fabric up at the top. I'm not looking at the paper because they're so little. I'm going to butt the fabric. And I'm going to sew away from, I'm just sewing. I know this is wrong, okay? It doesn't matter because what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it. So rather than try to sew it all perfect, just sew it and then move it over and then trim it.
Why didn't somebody think of this years ago?
I've been doing this 20 years.
Didn't let us know, did you?
I did. I've been doing it for 20 years. That's how old that quilt is back there.
The one behind you with the water?
It won Best of Show in Houston the year before they gave money away.
Oh, I bet and you can't.
That's okay.
You can't enter it but one time.
Yeah, but that one was chosen as one of the 100 best quilts of the 20th century.
Wow.
And I won Houston again. I won Best of Show, and I won $10,000 with that one this show.
No. They don't get the quilt?
No, this is the photo, and this is the picture. And the next time I come in a booth, I'll have this quilt. I don't normally bring this quilt. I don't usually travel with it. It's just my other big ones were gone. But I always have one big quilt. Usually this is the one we have. This is much bigger than that one. To give you an idea of the difference between this quilt and that quilt. That one took 6 months to make. Okay, I had 3 kids under the age of 6 when I made it. It has about 8,000 pieces in it. This quilt has, it took 6 years to finish, and that's because I stopped and started. So it has about 23,000 pieces in it. So this is a lot more complicated than that quilt. So next time, next show when we're vending, I'll bring it and y'all can see it. But the sewing, you can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, there's little pieces, but did you see how I did that? It wasn't any harder than a big piece.
And then you just cut around it.
Yeah, you trim it. Yeah, so it's not, here's another difference. Foundation piecing, you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, like in here, one at a time. I don't like to sew like that. I like to chain stitch. So what I do is any 2 I can sew together. They just have to be the same length. Okay? You could sew these, you could sew these, you could sew these, you could sew these. So what you do is you pin them all and you chain them.
Oh, here she is.
And then to these, you add this one. To these, you add this one. So you're building on this whole thing. You're not doing one at a time. A little section you have to, but not the big one. Dotted lines are telling me that in this big section, I have little groups I have to do first. Okay, that's like a fence. I have to sew everything on this side of the fence before I can hop the fence. Okay? I don't know why, but the fence makes sense to my brain.
Did you come up with this pattern this way?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, right sides together, you're peeling back the fabric and you're matching the paper. I am not looking at the fabric, I'm looking at the paper. These are cut with scissors, and they're rotary cut. I mean, they're not rotary cut, they're scissor cut. Drag a pin, and it falls in. It goes paper, 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 no paper, and it falls in. Come back up, and you pinch fold, and that gives you a little line, okay? Regular stitch length, and you sew away from the fold. Don't try to sew on the fold. Try to sew away from the fold, but it helps if you have a bobbin. And I'm out. Oh, they're all out now.
Okay.
Okay, but I think you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have videos, so make
Yeah,
sure
so
and
what's
watch
your-
them.
Now, you said you can get this one off the website.
Yeah, those are free.
How do I